Cast. No Mikey edition.
Ooh, kind of feels
That's
nice, doesn't it?
yeah. I feel less icky today.
There's Daddy's not here, so we could just sort of play.
I feel like I don't have to answer to anyone today.
You have to answer to me.
Yeah, I mean Tim's in
Oh.
charge now. We are.
Yeah, that's right.
We must
Tim-
bow.
Backup
listen up.
producer Tim is in charge.
Wow. Tim understudy.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, welcome to a new season of your
Wow.
favorite
That's
show,
right.
everybody. A
Season
new, brand
3.
new season. Yeah, season 3. Well, that's the numbering system. We've been doing this for a little bit longer than season 3.
Yeah. And who are you, pretty lady?
Well, that's. Are you talking about Tim?
I'm not a pretty lady.
Well, if Tim's a pretty lady, I mean, I know we're all very progressive here, but yikes!
You never know. You never
There,
know.
I fixed the bug where it doesn't tell people who our names are, so our names are
Okay.
up now.
Okay. Y'all, my name is Brenna. I actually have a side gig for this. So the bin is the main thing, but I also have my own gaming stream. So if you guys want to check that one out, that's under Brenna's Wonderland. I play currently Disney's Dreamlight Valley, but I'm working on trying to get some other things. I got a video capture card for my computer.
Oh, fancy.
So now I can hook up my Switch to it. Now I can play things like Animal Crossing and show the world.
Animal Crossing is pretty big on Twitch.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I'm doing is once we get up to 200 followers, I'm going to start doing other games other than the Dreamlight Valley. So testing out some other things that are out there, y'all.
We're up to 185, so 15 more to go.
So close. We can do it. But so
you're getting there, babes. You're getting there.
I'm gonna do it. So check that out. That's me. I get to right here on the bin. On the Bin Podcast, but I get to play video games, so you can watch me play video games.
You strange British man, who are you?
I am Wayne Lynch 1, as it says on there, also known as the Wayne Maker. And Tim, you'll appreciate this Radiator shirt that I got from my brother-in-law for Christmas.
Oh, I got a Judgment Day hoodie for Christmas.
Oh wow.
Boys.
Sorry.
Boys.
All right, Brenna, just because you're wearing a
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I am actually wearing an official Bin Podcast sweater. I've been wearing this. Whoa, we lost it. I've been wearing this for a wee bit because it's cold and rainy.
And I'm wearing a matching hat.
Yeah, but there's a sticker on there. It looks.
Yeah, I think that's meant to be the thing, You're supposed to leave it on there.
No, ew.
Brenna, I'm down with the kids.
Ew.
I'm in my, offensively late 20s.
I think there's quotes involved in that.
Offensively late 20s. Like I'm like double 21. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. That's great.
I can get away with saying my dude and everything.
Oh.
Your face.
Look. Let's not. Let's just move on from this.
Yeah. So anyway, we are going to talk about Brenna's pet subject at the minute.
There's nothing. There's nothing to talk about.
Really?
There's nothing significant out there.
Yeah, let's talk about what Prime Minister we've got at the minute, because we never know. You wake up and there's a new one. Oh, hello. A wild Prime Minister has appeared.
Congratulations, Wayne. You know what the leaders are. Sorry, that was my...
Yeah, I thought he was having an earthquake there. I was worried.
There we go. It's just so you have a majority leader currently, correct?
Not
Uh,
technically not.
well, I thought the prime minister is a majority leader.
Yeah, but he wasn't actually democratically elected in.
And then, um,
It's a complicated
we
system. I'll explain.
so what Wayne is alluding to here in the United States is that we are currently going through the process of um changing our house our Congress from a Democratic majority who the leader was Nancy Pelosi. But
Boo.
first off, um, she no longer seeking any leadership position. Um, but also we having a change from a democratically majority Congress to a Republican majority Congress. And usually what happens in a normal time, we will see a the leader of the party. So in our case, for the Democratic side, um, Hakeem Jeffries was nominated and voted on to be the leader of the Democratic caucus, I guess we would call it. The minority in this case. The
Mhm.
majority leader was voted by to be Kevin McCarthy, who is a person um
Mhm.
horrible.
Basically a slimy opportunist Republican cunt.
He- um, that's really nice of you, Wayne.
Yep.
That's a really nice thing to say about him. He is a terrible human. Uh, he
Accurate.
is he has been a terrible human. I mean, to call him a human is generous. But what is happening currently right now is that you can't to be Speaker of the House, you cannot just be the leader of the majority party. You have to be democratically elected, as Wayne alluded to before. Um, which means that you have to have 50% plus, 50% plus of the members of Congress to vote for you. In our case, that is 218 votes. 218 votes in order to get majority. Kevin McCarthy has not gotten up to 218 votes. There are currently, as of this Congress, there are 222 Republicans, which means he can only give up 4 of his own party. He has so far given up about 20. So if you look on the
Wow.
side there, you see our lovely screen. Tim was able to share his screen of C-SPAN, which,
Mhm.
by the way, I want to say, Jon Stewart tweeted out yesterday that this is the best season of C-SPAN yet. So this shows what is
Cap-
happening with our country.
the
So
reason we can't see Tim right now is because he's holding a camcorder up very steadily at his TV screen.
it's very nice, very nice. Thank you. Thank you, Tim. So currently, if you can see that Kevin McCarthy, as of right this very
Oh,
second,
look, there she is.
don't
Ah.
don't look at Trailer Park. Don't look at
Mm.
Trailer Park. Um, Kevin McCarthy has 20 votes. Hakeem Jeffries, the leader, like I said, the leader of the Democratic minority, has currently now 18. Another Republican, 2 other Republican nominees, each have 2, so that makes 4 are not voting for Kevin McCarthy.
Mhm.
If he gets one more, if he loses one more Republican vote, that is now the ninth vote that they said to Kevin McCarthy.
What is the point of him? Like literally, what is the point of him? I
This
saw his condemnation of Trump after the January 6th business occurred, and the very next week he was at Mar-a-Lago for dinner and a photo op. The geezer's absolute flannel, just flapping in the wind. Just
Yeah.
oh, which way's going to be my best opportunity to get power?
and
Just
and this is
arse.
what's happening. So with that Freedom Caucus, which is basically the QAnon caucus, those are
Oh,
mostly
jeez.
those 20 or so Republicans who refuse. They are outright refusing to vote for Kevin McCarthy. They are begging him, if you want our vote, you have to give us everything we want, which means that not only is the minority of the majority controlling everything just to get Kevin McCarthy elected,
Brenna, can I
they
just quick?
will control the minority majority I don't know which direction that goes. The majority minority, no, the minority majority. They will control everything. So now we have QAnon or the
Brenna,
GQP.
this is where I need to quickly do a little asterisk. QAnon are the far right conspiracy theory believing wing of the Republican Party in America. They're like your not as bad as your Golden Dawns, but it'll be like your UKIP over here in the UK. It'll be Marine Le Pen's party. I forget the blooming name. Front National in France.
Mhm.
That kind of wing of the party. Just for the uninitiated, for Europeans who don't know as much about American politics, because I sit here and listen to this every week, and I try and keep myself informed. But I know there's a lot of people out there that don't know exactly what you meant when you said QAnon.
So, just to show you what's going on right now, currently Kevin
A wild Tim has
McCarthy
appeared.
lost 6 Republican votes.
Yep, which means he's lost the vote. Vote number 9 in the can.
Right, let's go. Right, bye bye. Just
So
give it up.
so if anybody wants to know what the record is for votes, nearly 100 years ago, coming up very soon, this next year, it's 100 years, 100 years since a 9th ballot.
Wow. Tim Bristol, could you get Jason Dutch on the line to see if he remembers it?
No.
That was mean. You are
Sorry, Dutch.
so
Love you, bruv.
mean.
Poor Dutch.
Yeah, that
Poor
was mean.
Dutch.
Oh, come on, he gives as good as he
Mikey?
gets.
we have Mikey.
Yeah, he's in the chat instead of
We have-
on the show.
We have Mikey
Apparently,
on the chat. Hi, Mikey.
he
I
benched
love
himself.
you. Yay! We miss you, Mikey.
Yeah.
But
That's okay.
Tim,
Tim was here to save the day.
Mhm.
Tim is our savior. So
Whoa, calm down.
Wayne, I am your savior.
Yeah, listen up.
Look, listen, Sunbeam. I'm officially your lord. All right.
No, see, the Constitution, there's no titles in America. We don't have
Yep.
lordships and titles.
We can't.
You're not my lord.
You're all part of my serfdom.
You're the lord of some patch of dirt somewhere.
Yeah,
No,
in Scotland, of all places.
patch of dirt. How dare you? As I've said before, when they try and build a road through my patch of dirt, I'm going to be standing there saying, "You shall not pass."
You have to have the full Gandalf, though. You have to be full Gandalf. And
Yeah.
Just making sure that you understand that that's the important
Got
thing.
me staff dug in the ground, and if you look at this 1 square meter around me, there's cars flying by. Like, who's
Yeah.
this nutter?
So let's get back to what shit show we're watching. Oh my god. This is such an embarrassment to the Republican Party right now. They've already been embarrassed for the last, 10, 15 years. Really ever since the Tea Party got any sort of power, and it's just been going downhill since. And this really does show that. So I don't know what Tim might know a little bit more about this. You have your fingers inside the
Whoa! You
the
can't prove that. You can't
Whoa,
prove it.
I don't have my fingers inside of anything.
close your refrigerator,
Damn.
Tim.
Exactly. Get out of my fridge.
It won't shut.
Do it.
It won't.
Don't-
I can't.
Broken. It's broken, Tim.
Tim, fourth wall.
Anyway, Tim, is there any mechanism that there to a mechanism in order to get a speaker? Because currently, right now, without a speaker, Congress doesn't exist. They can't do shit. So
the short answer is no, and the long answer is maybe.
Sort
So,
of.
because there's no speaker right now, the members of the House of Representatives aren't currently sworn in. They're all just members elect. So all they can do is vote for speaker or adjourn. If they're not voting for speaker, they have to vote to adjourn. And if they can't adjourn, they have to stay and vote for speaker. So they have to negotiate. Or Kevin McCarthy has to step aside and someone else gets put up. But there's literally nothing they can do until they vote to have a speaker.
Do they have to stay there in perpetuity?
If they can't adjourn, yes.
Wow.
They have to stay on the floor until they vote to adjourn.
As far as I know, the Democrats want them to continue embarrassing Kevin McCarthy.
Yes.
Like that's and some of the and a few of the anti McCarthy want to embarrass McCarthy as well. So they don't really want to adjourn. They want to continue voting and watching Kevin McCarthy burn. I think is supposed to push out Kevin McCarthy. And that I think is the ultimate goal from at least the Democrats and the anti McCarthys.
Yeah.
Like, remember when we had like the Never Trumpers? We now have the Never McCarthys.
And as long as there's at least 5 of them, they can keep doing this forever.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
They need to maintain 5 against Kevin McCarthy. The Democrats are going to stick with Hakeem Jeffries. So
did you see Laura Ingram's absolute meltdown on that?
I did not, but I heard about it.
Oh, it's
I
hilarious.
Don't watch Fox. It drives me insane.
No, but again, I know I'll fly against the wind with us. I like to see what the other side are doing, just to have a laugh, especially when they lose their shit about silly things.
We're getting produced from the chat. Mikey's telling me to pull it up.
Excuse me.
Whoa!
It's not that kind of show.
Like, look.
Oh, it's my show now. It's whatever show I want it to be.
Wow.
Oh, Tim. Ooh. It's getting a little...
All right, Tim, should we talk about Wrestle Kingdom?
Oh, yeah. We can talk about Wrestle Kingdom and the greatest wrestler ever, Kenny Omega. You want to talk about that? Yeah. Let's see. Who was Laura Ingraham yelling at? What was she breaking down over?
Your man Hakeem.
Laura Ingraham.
Representative Jeffries.
Look at this. This is live production, people. This is what you pay the good money for.
This is what you try to pay the money
We
for.
would like you to pay good money for this.
Yeah. Speaking of paying money, if you'd like to sponsor us on the Patreon, patreon.com/the BIM podcast, feel free to donate, subscribe, and be part of this ever-growing family of friends.
We actually, what we need, but this is mostly for me, is we need followers. We need 200 followers, and then I get to do more games. And I already want to do Potion Craft, which is like brand new this past month or so. I want to do that. Mikey, come close.
Oh, Jesus.
I got a video capture card for my computer. So now
Mikey's just falling off his chair.
I know. He and I have this like this computer relationship where I get to show him all the cool stuff that I get. Like I told him when that I was able to set up my stream deck for my streaming, and he got happy. All right. Who?
Okay, this is bits and pieces. This is Laura Ingraham talking about a possible Hakeem Jeffries speakership.
Damn right.
Are saying, and I think McCarthy's folks are saying, that they already gave you guys a number of key concessions. Frankly, if I were he, I might not have given them if I were, trying to become speaker. So
the person she's talking to is one of the 20 holdouts, the MAGA Super Trump people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Insurrectionists. There we go.
Okay.
So what is your end game at this point, given the 3 votes, and yet you all don't have one candidate who can?
He looks like Shadow World Picard.
Picard from the Darkest Timeline.
Yeah.
Right, because
that was their thing, wasn't it?
TNG never went to the mirror universe.
Sorry, mirror.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No, they didn't mirror universe. They had an alternative timeline.
But I loved the simple thing of, we'll just put a beard on you and you're evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes you evil, right? A beard and a mustache.
That's the mirror universe of the original series, is that you put on a beard and then the ladies just get midriffs. That's how you know they're evil. When they're showing off skin, baby.
Become more slutty. Because them uniforms weren't slutty enough, were they?
Yeah. They weren't that bad.
All the mini skirts in TNG, remember those from like the first season?
Oh yeah. There were some questionable choices there.
For sure.
Anyway.
Speaking of questionable choices, Laura Ingraham
can get to 218, at least not yet.
Well, thanks for having me on, Laura. Look, this is all about making sure that we change this institution, okay? Laura, you know this. Every single night on your show, you talk about how broken this place is. Does anybody think that $1.7 trillion bill that just passed thing, does anybody think that this institution is working? With all due respect to Kevin, he's been in leadership since 2009. Let me be clear. The debt was $11 trillion then. It's $32 trillion now. I can go through vote after.
I absolutely love how when Republicans are in control, they don't give 2 fucks about the debt. But the second they don't have control of Congress, they're like, oh my God, the debt's exploding.
We can't spend money. We can't spend any money unless it's on tour.
We're destitute.
Don't spend money.
And now they're blaming each other over the debt. Oh, Kevin McCarthy was in leadership since 2009. The debt was 11 trillion then. Now it's 20 trillion. It's all his fault.
Yeah.
Right. But I thought, wouldn't that be where it would be Obama's fault? I don't know. It was Obama's fault, and then was Hillary Clinton at fault at some point? I don't know, because she never actually became like president. But she was at fault, I guess.
But it was
Trump,
never Trump's fault. Never his fault.
Could never ever be fault, even though he didn't pay a goddamn thing in taxes. It's not his fault.
And also the tax cut bill that he helped pass, exploded the deficit and the debt.
that's not his fault. That's the socialist Democrats. Those are
Yes.
that's the faults.
For
They
the
did
tax cuts,
Exactly. Tim.
corporate welfare. You gotta love it.
Oh God.
For vote after vote over the last decade. He was in the minority of Republicans not standing with Ted Cruz on Obamacare in 2013. He was on Goodlatte 2 in 2018 with respect to the immigration and border security bill, which messed up the entire effort for us to secure the border 4 years ago.
Right, we've documented, Congressman. We've documented that, and everybody knows. Like I'm probably to the right of a lot of you guys on a lot of these issues. So,
oh yeah, she is. She's so far to the right. I don't even think she can see the middle.
No, she's just agent provocateur of just Rupert Murdoch's fucking. The thing is, like Fox News, they class themselves as entertainment, but they have news in their title. How could you can't be both? Be one or the other.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
You can.
You shouldn't be.
What interesting about like somebody like Laura Ingraham is that first off, she started horribly to the right, and because they kept throwing money at her to get her these nice shows with these nice guests and stuff, because they kept throwing money at her, she just continually moved more and more and more to the right because of the money. The money was there for her.
We have a very similar thing going on over here, but let's continue.
No one's going to be conservative enough for me. However,
no one's going to be conservative enough. You still have to get to 218.
So again, I'm going to ask you, what is your end game here? Because it looks like we could be going to something, in my view, a lot worse than someone who is who paid a security test. Understanding all your.
It isn't about ideological
This is
purity
all
test.
of the assertions being made by Kevin's camp.
Here's the problem: is that's all Republicans care about. Are you Trumpy enough to be a Republican at this point?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are they all like secretly going into each other's ear? Hail Hydra.
Yeah.
I don't think they're saying Hail Hydra.
Well, I was being diplomatic about it.
I think that some of them probably have similar views to Kanye.
Wow. Sorry.
Laura Ingraham might be one of them.
Okay. Let's continue with this.
I hear assertions that says, oh, they gave you everything you wanted. Laura, hold on a second. What, 72 hours to read a bill? That's already the rule, and it gets waived. Do you know how it gets waived? Because the Rules Committee is chock full of a bunch of establishment people who say, whatever we need to do to jam through the big spending bill that Mitch McConnell just sent to us. Look, when the leadership actually votes with the minority, votes with the Democrats to steamroll Republicans, which is the past history of our Republican leadership, then maybe we should do something different.
Okay,
so my question, I want tools. I want tools to change that.
Okay, but my question to you again: you have to get point
fuck this guy. Whoever this guy is, fuck him.
Sam Cedar, man.
You know, I thought someone else was telling me to pause it, and I was like, "What the? What?
Sam Cedar.
Who's telling me to pause it? Fuck it. Fuck Sam Cedar. Fuck that guy."
Sam Cedar's great.
Oh. He didn't tell you to pause it.
Listen. I thought. Well, I got to skip over him. I don't want to hear him talk. So.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
My question to you again: you have to get from point A to point B. I understand frustration with the establishment. Long before you were on Capitol Hill, I've been fighting the establishment, so I get that.
She's the best.
But you still have to be able to get to point B. So my question is a very specific one. Would you rather have Hakeem Jeffries in a position of authority
that's not a real choice,
House, rather than have McCarthy as Speaker with the concessions that
I get what he's saying. It's a false dichotomy because while there's a non-zero chance that Hakeem Jeffries could be Speaker, no Republican is going to vote for Hakeem Jeffries for Speaker.
Especially the anti-McCarthys, they're not going to vote for him.
So how is this going to end in your guys' opinion? Because if McCarthy's not allowed in and Hakeem can't be touched with a barge pole, and these are the only two realistic candidates. Where do you see the end game?
I don't know. I think that the name that has been floated by the Republicans, if McCarthy decides to pull out, pause.
You should.
If McCarthy decides he can't be speaker, like there's no way he's going to win, then Steve Scalise would be the next probable. He was one of the congressmen who was in the baseball game.
Yeah.
The congressional baseball game where he got shot up by a shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
does that mean that the Democrats can sub someone in as well?
Well, anyone can nominate anyone.
Yeah, it's a nomination. So this is something that I think we saw when John Boehner left, right? Is that anyone, as long as they get the majority of the votes, can be speaker. It does not need to be a elected member of Congress.
That was the point that I remember you saying this last night, Tim. It does not need to be
the majority party. It just needs to be someone that gets the majority of the vote.
Yes.
And so right now it could be Trump. That's why Gates voted for Trump, because he can.
Got me gavel.
I know. You ready?
Coming over. What we got in the budget?
More money than you can possibly imagine.
Probably 2 and 6.
Don't tell him what we have.
Wayne, what's the gross GDP of the UK?
I don't care.
Probably like 10 times that. That's your budget.
Oh, right. All right. Does anyone want to buy a bridge?
We already went through that.
I've got a pretty cushy one. It's got lovely, flappy bits on it and all that.
Flappy bits. Goes up and down. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's a bridge.
It's a pinball wizard. That's what it is.
So here is the current vote total for vote number 9.
Oh,
yeah.
For fuck's sake.
So
this
basically,
must be excruciating for you guys.
It's laughable.
I have like two sides of my brain right now. One side is saying, "Oh my God, this is amazing. The Republicans are so fractured that they can't even bring themselves to just vote for Kevin McCarthy. Like they just can't. They can't give in." And then on the other side, I'm like, nothing is getting done because they can't figure it out. And that's what we're seeing, is that we're seeing the two sides of this going, shit's not getting done. But this is hilarious because nothing is getting done. And it's because they can't agree.
I think my favorite reaction to it is President Biden yesterday when he was being asked about it, is he was boarding Air Force One to go somewhere, and he said, "It's embarrassing and it's not my problem."
Yeah.
Fair dues. For me, it's like, forgive me if I get my Greek mythology wrong, but this seems like one of the trials of Sisyphus, like where he's pushing a boulder up the hill and then the god just pushes it back down and he's got to get back down and push it back up the hill. It just seems completely pointless.
Is Kevin McCarthy Sisyphus?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe one of the trials for Sisyphus should have been like, he had to sit and wait for procedural votes for eternity, because that's what's going to happen.
That's exactly what's going on, though. Look at me with using Greek mythology in this fucking tin pot podcast of ours.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey Wayne, over there in England, am I saying that? England? Over there in the UK.
Yeah.
the speakers of your parliament, the leaders of your parliament, how are they put in position?
They're normally it's a cross-party thing because the speaker can be from any party. It doesn't matter who's in charge. They're just nominated, and then people vote for them. Because the last one, John Bercow, was a Conservative, and he was hated by a lot of the right-wing Conservatives because he was all about staying in the EU, and he made it quite plain that he wanted. He even had a bumper sticker on his car saying like "Remain," and he said, "Oh, it's my wife's car."
Oh, under the bus.
Yep.
Yeah, the bus with
Jeez.
350 million from the EU back to the NHS.
Jesus.
But yeah, and now we've got Lindsay Hoyle, and he's just I don't know. It's not as much of it's more of a ceremonial role because like when it comes to PMQs, the leaders of each particular party have to address the speaker. They say, "Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker," or Madam Deputy Speaker, and all that. But they're talking to them as if they've got an opinion. The only reason that they're there is like a referee. They just order.
Right.
That was John Bercow's thing, and like John Bercow proper lived up to it. Lindsay Hoyle was he's more of a sort of like shut up and sit down kind of guy. You know, he's like, I want to hear the Prime Minister speak, and I want to hear his answers and all that kind of thing. It's not as much of a big role as you guys have, and I think you guys elevate the speaker to an echelon that is way above our speaker. Our speaker basically is just the referee and just kind of wraps the knuckles of MPs and holds PMQs. And I mean, you've seen PMQs. It's a shit
What's
show.
a PMQ?
Sorry, you're right. I should have elaborated on that. PMQs is Prime Minister's Question Time, which is held every Wednesday.
That sounds hilarious. Prime Minister question time. Does he
Yeah.
sit? Does everyone sit around in a circle and he reads a book first? And
yeah, and then they bring in a drag queens because we're so woke.
Prime
But no,
it sounds like a television show, like a kid show. It's Prime Minister
it
question
really is.
time.
Oh, Tim, you need to watch PMQs. It's back next week. It's fucking hilarious. It's basically the leader of the used to be the Queens, now the King's opposition, gets to ask the Prime Minister 6 questions, and they have to answer in turn. But they say, Mr. Speaker, would he like to say this, this, and this? And then they turn around and go, nah.
Wow, thrilling.
But, I mean, Boris Johnson was the best at it because, like, Keir Starmer would be like, Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister last week said this and that. And does he stand by his word? Well, Mr. Speaker, the right honourable gentleman is completely incorrect in what he is saying. And we had the vaccine rollout, and I'll sit down. That was it. That was his entire shtick.
Oh my god.
Oh, Mikey says that McCarthy is the Rock and the Republicans are Sisyphus.
Okay.
Right.
So they keep pushing him up, and then
let
he
him
keeps
roll
getting
back
kicked down.
So they okay. Yeah, the thing about the Speaker of the House for the United States is that person is third in line to the presidency.
How does that work?
The Constitution, the 25th Amendment.
Yeah.
It established the presidential line of succession. So it goes president, vice president, Speaker of the House.
Okay.
And then like Secretary of State.
Yeah,
and then it goes all the way down to like Secretary of Agriculture.
Also, there's people who must be skipped due to the fact that they don't qualify to be president. So people who have not are not natural born citizens, people who are not of the 35 year age. So there are things that may limit the line of succession, but it pretty much goes, after the president, the vice president, and then Speaker of the House. So it really is important, just in general, to have a Speaker of the House.
Yeah, see, we're more binary over here. We have your Prime Minister and your Deputy Prime Minister. And then after that, it probably goes out to a vote. The Speaker has no sway in that. And it's a bit like the royal, it follows in line with the royal family, because that's why you've got the heir and the spare kind of scenario going on with William and Harry right now, because Harry could never be king. As soon as William bore a child, that his child would always. Oh, this is Lindsay Hoyle, who's a legend.
I got some Boris Johnson PMQs.
Come on. This is
come out of lockdown on July the 19th last year, which he said was reckless. Never forget, he said it was reckless. Our economy would not be strong enough now to make the payments we are to our fantastic NHS, and they know it.
And they know it.
I really am going to miss this weekly nonsense from him. Let's move on. Let's move on from his current Chancellor to his former Chancellor. Last week, he resigned, accusing the Prime Minister of not conducting government properly, competently, or seriously. He suggested the Prime Minister is not prepared to work hard or take difficult decisions.
Well, yeah, it's Boris
and
Johnson.
Implied that the Prime Minister cannot tell the public the truth. Yesterday, he claimed his big plan is to rebuild the economy. Now, even the Prime Minister must be impressed.
Let me go back 5 seconds. I like that the captions had the quote rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever captioned this was like, this is sarcasm.
We're not serious about what we're about to hear. just let
Big
it happen.
plan is to rebuild the economy. Now, even the Prime Minister must be impressed by that Johnsonian brass neckery. Can the Prime Minister think of any jobs his former Chancellor may have had that means he bears some responsibility for an economy that he now claims is broken?
Let's hear his fucking answer.
Here we go. Watch this.
Mr. Speaker, I think everybody who's played a part in the last 3 years has done a remarkable job in helping this country through very difficult times. I just want to say to him, really, Mr. Speaker, the next leader of my party may be elected by acclamation, so it's possible this will be our last confrontation over this. It's possible. So I want to thank him.
Answer a question, mate.
Him for the style in which he's conducted himself. I think it'd be fair to say he's been considerably less lethal than many other members of this House.
British Parliament?
Right. So
you guys have a parliament just to make fun of each other? Is that what goes on?
Pretty much. It's
I was just going to say, we are not in our Congress. We are not allowed to say or act in any of this way. It is against the policy of the floor.
Bants. Right. Like, so let me just explain.
C-SPAN would be much better with it.
To the right of Boris Johnson. Sorry, can you bring that back up, please? To the right of Boris Johnson in this shot is Liz Truss, the shortest serving Prime Minister ever. 39 days she did. And to the left of him is Dominic Raab, who is his Deputy Prime Minister, who is a complete smug cunt. And this is what we had to put up with. This kind of politician for the last 12 years. And now we are at the bottom of the barrel. We are literally scraping it, and we seem to have penetrated the bottom of the barrel, and now we're taking on water.
But in American Congress, the members aren't even allowed to address each other unless it's in debate. Like this morning, they had to go over the rules again because there was too much like people talking to each other while they had the floor. And they're like, you're supposed to address the chairwoman, and that's it.
Yeah,
You can't address each other.
You can't name anybody. You can't.
Tim, can you just quickly scroll through until you get a wide shot of the chamber? You'll get a wide shot at some point.
Oh, I think there was one here.
Right. How big do you think that room is?
I don't know. It looks like as big as a basketball court.
Less than that. It is absolutely tiny. And you are jammed in there. Like Kerry and Kerry's dad and I did a tour of the Palace of Westminster. It is like tiny in there, and it's dirty. The speaker's seat is all grubby, and it's all full. Bits are falling off. The chamber where the Queen, where the late Queen Lizzie, where she had to get ready to go in and wear her silly hat. Yeah, bits are falling off. It was a terrible state of affairs.
Here, let's have Boris take another question.
Green lights for our new Cheadle Rail station.
No. Go back to where Keir Starmer is, because that's where all the fireworks are.
This guy?
Yeah, that's Keir Starmer. Answer this question, you prick.
Spending cuts, and when he said that they're doing nothing on the cost of living crisis.
Prime Minister. Look, Mr. Speaker, this is really a pitiful stuff from the party that voted against the £39 billion, which is necessary to pay for those 50,000 nurses, which we're recruiting, and we will recruit by 2024, Mr. Speaker, which is necessary to pay for those hospitals and those doctors and those scans and that treatment. They don't have a leg to stand on, Mr. Speaker. And I can tell him something else. The reason we've got growth now at 0.5% is
This is where Boris Johnson obfuscates, pivots, and goes off on a tangent. This is what he does best. So continue, please.
Because we took the tough decisions to come out of lockdown on July the 19th last year, which he said was reckless. Never forget, he said it was reckless. Our economy would not be strong enough now to make the...
Question: what's the flower on his jacket?
It was some sort of, I don't know, some campaign that they were supporting. I don't give a shit.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you knew if it was like a thing, because like American politicians like to wear a pin, like an American flag pin, or like
no.
whatever.
We wear a poppy every year around November 11th.
For Armistice Day, I see.
We have flags, so the lapels are flags, and usually, like, I believe that at least the Democratic caucus has the American and Ukrainian flag. I think that's what they have. I don't know what the Republican, if the Republicans are wearing that too. Some of them might, but I know that the pin is very specific to what they want. So it's very similar to the poppy for Armistice Day.
Okay.
The payments we are to our fantastic NHS, and they know it. Stop up.
There you go. What's you talking about, mate?
I really am going to miss this week nonsense.
I already heard this bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what a PMQ is, huh?
Yeah.
See, we would have way more fun if we could do any of that.
You'd have like Judge Judy fucking doing it.
I mean, we already have a reality show going on. We might as well make it interesting.
Yeah, and you'd have one of them, like Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, but dung.
Yeah, we need it. We need sound effects.
Yeah.
We also need like title cards that tell us what the hell is going on.
Adverts every 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, that would actually.
It would be in prime time.
Here comes this yawn fest.
There'd be points awarded.
Oh yeah. I think we could prizes at the end.
Yeah.
You know what? They need roses. They need bachelor roses that they hand out.
I would love to see the January 6th shaman run down there like the Ultimate Warrior.
Speaking of January 6th, the 2-year anniversary is tomorrow.
That's
Oh yeah,
mad.
tomorrow
That's mad.
is January 6th, indeed.
Yeah.
So one of the
Talk
one
amongst
of the
yourselves. Chip off.
oh.
Yeah.
One of the concessions that McCarthy supposedly gave the 20, whatever you call them, was that he would disband the January 6th committee and also form what they're calling a church committee to investigate the FBI and the IRS.
Yeah.
So that's well, I think the vote has concluded.
Already? Oh yeah, okay.
Uh,
So Jeffrey has 212, which he's going to get every single time.
Yep.
And then
I think there's one vote
20
missing.
Well, there's a present.
Yeah, but besides
Okay.
that, let's see. Does
Oh,
this
you think
equal
McCarthy? Yeah. Okay.
430? No, that's all the votes.
That's all that.
That's all of them.
So now they have to. So then the next vote would be either to adjourn, or for another round. So right
Yep.
now,
That's all we can
currently,
do.
Kevin McCarthy has now broke the record for rounds of voting because it took almost 100 years ago 9 rounds to finally find a speaker. This is really utterly embarrassing. And again, it's funny because these guys, like, it's been said so many times that, like, the Republicans just sort of bow down to the leadership, right? Like they fall in line, as we say, and then the Democrats fall in love, and the Democrats are supposed to be the fractured ones, which have, like, you know, the progressives and the corporate Democrats and the moderates and stuff like that. But this really shows that the Democrats can actually get together and say, we're going to do one thing, and we're going to embarrass the hell out of Kevin McCarthy. At least they're together on that. And the Republicans are just showing how much they cannot do that. They cannot get together and say we're going to vote for Kevin McCarthy, because there are people who absolutely positively hate him as a person and as a leader.
I've got to say, the main chamber of the Capitol building looks like a Wetherspoons pub over here. The same. It's got the same carpet. It's got the same sort of like moody wooden like veneer and rubbish chairs. You just need, like, I don't know, some full English breakfast being served right now.
Pretty much. Yeah. By the way, because they need a speaker in order to swear in members of Congress, you have their families waiting around.
Oh yeah.
Who have whatever cleric or whatever, you know, whatever thing, as you saw, the priest with her little collar on. Like, they have this already in the back waiting for this to happen. So now you're just torturing people at this point. So I'm just saying that it's both very funny and very sad at the very same time.
Does this not show that there's a flaw in your system that needs to be kind of ironed out? Because this like
Which
I said
one?
earlier, well, Second Amendment for one. Does this not highlight to people that this kind of ridiculousness is so outdated that maybe you should try something new? Because there seems to be any form of change that is suggested about changing the Constitution is so shat upon by, like, non-thinking people. People just react to this a bit like, again, like the Second Amendment. People react, but when you say to people, let's get rid of this particular law because it harms a lot of people, but it's not congressional, people go, "Oh yeah, it's all right." But as soon as it becomes part of something to do with the what's your
The Constitution.
Constitution. As soon as it becomes something to do with the Constitution, you're like, "No, we can't change that." Okay, well, what do you think the word amendment means?
I think the problem is the process is purposefully too difficult to pass an amendment. The last amendment that was passed was 1996, and that was that Congress couldn't vote for their own pay raise. They had to vote for the next Congress's pay raise.
Yeah.
Like, there are a bunch of potential amendments out there
Yeah.
that simply don't have the support of Congress or the support of the states.
Yeah.
And actually, around the time of the election, they were talking about how they're like 5 or 6 states away from just having a constitutional convention and rewriting the Constitution, which is horrifying because of the states that are involved in it.
Yeah. I mean, like, because I get your federal and state separation, and like what people were scared of over here, which led to Brexit, was the federalization of Europe. It's like, so what? Oh, look, we've all voted, and we were at top table. We were one of the cunts that fucking invented it. And oh, so you want to get rid of the working time directive? That means you have to opt out for working over 40 hours a week. You monsters. You know, just silly little things like that. And I had a guy that I used to work with. He went, "I ain't fucking signing that. I ain't signing that. I want to work as many hours as I want." I was like, "Okay, that's cool. You don't have to sign it." It was that simple. You could opt in or opt out. But if you opted in to not working over 40 hours a week, your employer couldn't force you to work over 40 hours a week unless you volunteered to. Just crazy little things like that the EU did. You know, I know that's a very minor thing, but in my opinion, when you've got governance of a community of countries of all different sort of hues of life, why is that a bad thing? Why is that so terrible?
I think they're going to announce the vote.
Oh, hello.
In a minute. So I'm going to keep it up for a second because I think that
Excuse
whoever
me?
the lady who's chairing, is going to announce the official vote.
Yeah, which will then lead to whether or not to vote to adjourn or to continue on with a 10th vote.
I love how last night the Republicans cheered the fact that they were able to get enough people together to adjourn.
He's clearly watching porn. He's like, "I'm on camera, fuck."
Yeah. I'm bored.
No, he's putting his hat on his lap.
Yeah, exactly.
He knows. He knows.
There's
Statler and Mordor right there.
God. But this is a huge problem for what. First off, I mean, the Republicans were very disappointed in the fact that they didn't get like an outright majority in the House, and they blame everybody but themselves.
Okay.
So
sorry, it's Hakeem
Jeffries, yes.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
So 212 is the number of Democrats currently or elect, because they're not currently in Congress because they have not been sworn in, but they are the amount elect. And so that number has been consistent from the very beginning. And again, this proves how fractured the Republican minority is. The conservative minority within there that is not going to get behind Kevin McCarthy enough so that he could get the majority vote. And it's proven time and time again. So either Kevin McCarthy, like Tim, you said, either Kevin McCarthy has to go, "I can't do this anymore. Please stop, stop it.
Stop it. Stop bullying me."
and then putting a candidate forward that can actually join the party together to do something. So that means that Kevin McCarthy would have to give up every every handshake that he had trying to get these stupid concessions up. He'll give up, and he'll give up any type of leadership. He'll be just the loser that he is, and he'll just prove it.
I think one of the problems the Republicans have is that they don't have anyone really in the House leadership who can replace a possible Kevin McCarthy as Speaker, because their leadership has been run out.
Or fractured. From what I'm hearing from all you guys, it's completely fractured and gone off in all these little different factions.
Also, they've run out a lot of senior members of the House because of Trump. I mean, Paul Ryan, John Boehner, like those guys could have stayed in for a bit. I mean, I know they wanted to go into the private sector and do whatever they were doing, become lobbyists, but they've had a lot of other Republicans who were seasoned lawmakers who resigned because they didn't want to be under a Trump administration. So Kevin McCarthy was basically the guy that was left.
Yeah.
Now, Tim, can I? Sorry, Brenna.
But this kind of feels a little bit about what's happening with the Tory party, because as you know, the Tory party, there, as you said, is at the bottom of the barrel, and that's what's happening here, and it's shown how deep the bottom of the barrel is, because the conservatives in all these first world countries, the conservatives don't have anything.
No.
They don't believe in anything. Their entire platform is anti whatever the liberals want.
Yeah.
The liberals want a $15 minimum wage. No, we're against that. We want it lowered to $5. The liberals want they want transgenders in the military. Well, we don't want that. We want to take that away. They don't believe in anything.
Yeah.
It shows, especially in the Tory party, as well as the Republican, what is current in the Republican Party, is that there's nothing that they stand for. They just stand against. And
yes.
That's what's happening, is that when you have so many people standing against something, the ones that stand for something are being forced out.
And Brenna, to your point, if we was to have our mighty Thor here, or Alistair Black, as we also know him as, he will tell you that across Scandinavia, the same thing is happening. The right is on the rise. All across Europe, the right is on the rise, because people that care about people are seen as weak and seen as, pussy holes.
That's the narrative, right?
Yeah, but then
anti-woke.
But then you've got the other problem with the right split, in the sense of you can be right wing, but you can't be too right wing because you want to be seen as sensible. But then you've got the nutters, and the nutters are the ones that are getting the traction, and then they're kind of dragging the moderates over to their side. And the next thing you know, you've got this split, which is great, which creates a vacuum. But unfortunately, the left and the progressives are arguing amongst themselves as well. So it's just fucking political chaos at the minute, because no one really knows what to do, because you want to cater for the many, but unfortunately the few have the loudest voice. And if those few keep getting on these political programs, the Sunday morning programs, doing around, because they are box office, because they are drawing ratings, they're going to keep coming. And if you don't book these people through your show, you're not going to get any ratings, which means you're not going to get advertising. So basically, the whole democratic model is destroyed by capitalism because we just want money. We don't want to hear. Remember in the Trump election, the very first one, Bernie Sanders was giving a speech and they cut to an empty lectern where Trump was meant to be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I remember that very vividly.
Yeah, because look, it's a lectern that says Trump on it. Let's cut to that because we might get more eyeballs. That's how pathetic as a species we are.
Well, I think that to Brenna's point, like the Republicans really don't have anything that unifies them currently. The one thing they wanted, the overturning of Roe v. Wade, happened. So once they mission accomplished that, what else do they really want? They got tax cuts and they got Roe v. Wade overturned.
Yeah.
So they don't have something that unifies them anymore.
So
they
their only purpose is to be against whatever happens in the Democrat majority Senate and the democratically held executive branch. Whatever is going through them, their job is to say no. And that's how people pay them. They get paid that way. You say no on this, I'll pay you. Yeah. And that's what's going to happen is that they're just going, and I don't understand this as a country, because as a country, if somebody's job, if somebody goes into a job saying, I'm just going to avoid allowing other people to do their job, that will get you fired. Like you don't go into a job saying everything, or I just want everything around me to implode, unless you are literally imploding things like buildings.
Are the Republican Party basically three-man Spider-Man memeing?
At this point, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was you. It was
you. You did that. Oh, and you. Okay. No. Yeah. That's they can't admit that they are a problem because they can't.
No, because of ego, and this is one thing that really, really pisses me off. The amount of people that are in power that cannot take the fact, cannot just put their hands up and go, do you know what? Yeah, I shit the bed on that. Sorry, I got it wrong. Just hold your fucking hand up, because if I get shit wrong, just in general, I'll be like, yeah, I did wrong. I fucked up. Be accountable. But these people's ego is so ridiculously fragile that they can never be wrong.
Yeah.
That's right, Tim.
They can't say,
I
hey,
can never be
you know
wrong.
what? Like the COVID. I mean, like saying don't get your vaccine or don't wear your mask, that killed people. That got people killed, right? And people in danger. They can't go, hey, I'm sorry, like I really didn't, I was told, this is I was told to say this and I said it and I should never do that, and that was wrong. They could never say that I was told to tell you never to get the vaccine. But even though, of course, all Congress got the vaccines, all of Fox News got the vaccines, and they were the ones that, like, they can't say, "Oh, I was told to do this."
Well,
there's nothing that they don't believe in anything.
Brenna, put it this way: if you walked into a pub after being to the dentist, who's just told you that black tooth you got needs to come out, we need to do a root canal, we need to fix you up.
Well, and hold on, something's happening.
Oh, hello.
Something's happening.
The Honorable Kevin McCarthy of the state of California has received 200.
Okay. Which is not even close. He's such a wanker.
No, just proper cunt.
The Honorable Byron Donalds of the state of Florida has received 17.
Thank you for that smattering of applause.
The Honorable
Yeah.
Kevin Hearn of the state of Oklahoma has received 3.
Wow, a whole 3 votes.
With
That was his mum and
one
dad.
recorded as present.
Like that.
No
But he has
members
5
elect
members of his
having
family.
received
Take it easy,
a
take it
majority of
easy.
the votes cast. A speaker has not been elected.
Yeah, go
Let's
America.
go
For what
again.
purpose
Let's
does
go
the gentleman
again.
from Arizona rise?
Oh, they're going straight into another
Madam
vote?
Clerk, I rise to nominate Kevin McCarthy
Oh
as
my
Speaker of the
God.
House.
Jesus fuck, guys.
Guys, just adjourn.
Yeah, just have a nap.
Have a day off.
Have
You know,
have a-
earlier in the day, they were talking about adjourning until
The
Monday.
gentleman is recognized.
I guess they don't
Right.
have the votes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
This is an embarrassment, and I love it.
He looks like a
The American dream
decent looking
is
Rishi
a
Sunak.
dream.
He's got some like George Clooney in him, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. You see that.
Just handsome. Like just
The American dream is a dream worth
Decent
fighting
hair,
for.
decent suit.
that's
And I
a
know in my hearts of
Republican
hearts
right there. Is
that
that
Kevin
they
McCarthy is
have
the man to
be-
lead
they're
us
just like
as we work to
the
fulfill that
hair
dream
is
for
nice
everyone
and
in
parted.
every state
The
and in
tie
every
is
district.
perfectly
Right.
up there.
He's brought
Tailored
his kid to school.
Yeah.
Well, they all have their kids there because
Everyone in
they're
this
supposed to be
chamber
sworn in.
understands
They're
the
supposed
need
to
to
have their
serve our
families.
constituents. It's who elected us, and it's our responsibility. Kevin
bollocks.
understands this as
I
well
don't think
as
Kevin
anyone.
understands anything.
He has dedicated his life
Kevin hasn't,
to spreading
hasn't gotten the
opportunity for
memo
all
yet.
through the private sector and the public sector.
Kevin,
Guys-
read the
So
room.
this place,
Gaze
special
over his,
place.
as we look at him, right shoulder looks like a young
My
Joey
first home
Diaz.
on the Hill was back when I was an intern in 2003. My mom visited,
I don't know if I
and
can
I remember
handle
walking
this
her around
anymore,
the
guys.
halls of Congress as if I owned the
This
place.
is driving me crazy.
Well, just a few days ago, I got to walk my mom around one more
Oh,
time
fuck
this
off.
special
Turn
place.
this off. I can't.
I think we're done. I can't do this anymore.
Gaze is rocking up like it's a fucking Oscar speech. You need that little Bo Peep fucking.
Oh yeah, no, they clap for everything.
Yeah, they have nothing. They have nothing to live for at that point.
That little boy.
Yay.
that little
Somebody
boy
bring me
that
a
like, couldn't have anything to live
sandwich! Yay!
for. Oh man, Brenner, a bacon sandwich would be amazing right now.
You can't.
I know.
Stay away.
Ooh, biscuits and gravy.
Oh.
No, don't. No, you're talking about fucking dirty scones with gravy.
Biscuits and gravy. Biscuits and sausage gravy.
So,
Oh, mate,
well,
you-
yeah. So,
you-
Tim,
you-
I have
Tim
found-
Tim would be a
Hey.
northerner. Tim would be a northerner.
Tim, I have found the best sausage for sausage gravy. It is
Excuse me?
maple flavored
Oh yeah.
sausage. Jimmy Dean has it, and I've been making my sausage gravy from that. And I swear to you, it's probably the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
Wayne, I got some Yorkshire pudding that I'm gonna make sausage gravy for.
Ooh.
Right, Tim, this for the food truck, Tim, what you need to do, Yorkshire pudding wraps,
Yorkshire
Mate.
pudding wraps.
giant Yorkshire puddings,
Uh-huh.
right, and then just fill it with all your cheesy, meaty goodness.
That'd be good, but I'd
Wrap
have
it
to
up.
make they don't make them that big, I don't think.
You
Like
make
I'd have to
them
make it
yourself,
I don't want to make them myself. That's why I own a grilled cheese food truck, so I don't have to actually make food. All I have to do is put
Wow.
cheese and bread on a grill.
Tim, fucking stop giving away the gimmick.
You know, when-
Kayfabe, man, kayfabe.
When we were coming up with the idea, the 3 ideas were a lobster truck,
Mm-hmm.
a soup and mac and cheese truck, and grilled cheese.
Okay. I'm gonna quickly find an image of a Yorkshire pudding wrap.
Oh,
Lobster would have been good if the price of lobster didn't skyrocket during COVID.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because lobster rolls are a big seller in New England, and we would have made bank, even with the price of lobster the way it was.
Yeah, I was
But,
gonna say because you're being quite near the ocean there. You're
yeah,
laughing.
and lobster rolls are super easy to make. It's 2 minutes. It would have been, we've been able to mass produce them, charge $25 a roll, but lobster went way high.
Yeah, but I think a lot of that was just because of people saying, "Oh, we're supposed to put our prices up because everyone else is."
No, it's the lobster fishermen couldn't go out; they couldn't work, so there was a huge shortage on lobster.
Because basically, it's
because of the Ronas.
It's like a gyro or gyro. I don't know how you say it.
It's called a hero.
Okay, I'm not gonna pull
You're
you up
gonna
on
get
it.
the Greek people angry with you again.
I don't give a fuck. All right, I'm gonna Can you get BBC sites on your thing?
Can I what now?
Get BBC sites on your. I'm gonna chat.
Does your British internet work with American internet? Is that what you're asking?
I'm just putting it in there. There you go.
Because I think the internet works everywhere.
No, I mean, not always. Because I'll post something and it'll be like, "Oh, it's restricted."
Well, sometimes what he's saying is that there's some websites that can't translate through firewall here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But I think BBC is fine. I think BBC.
I'll do ya.
All right, everybody. I can't do this anymore.
What I'm talking about the British Broadcasting Corporation. What are you talking about?
Mikey, shut up.
I was just.
Just Brenna, make sure you have Safe Search on when you put that into the computer.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah, BBC.
I hate
rat.
each and every one of you. God, you guys are awful.
Yeah, Wayne, this looks good. If I could find these in the size that you can wrap them in, I'd do it, but I'm not going to make them myself because all I have is a grill. I don't have a deep fryer.
You can get Aunt Bessie's giant Yorkshires over there. I know you can.
Was it called Aunt Bess's Giant Yorkshires?
Aunt Bessie's giant Yorkshires.
All right, I'll look it up.
They're pre-made. You just have to defrost them, put your gear in, roll them up, put them under a fryer, wait on, boom, you're done.
Giggity.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, I think we've all had enough for today.
I can't do this anymore.
Why?
Brenna wants to go home.
I wanna drink heavily and
Yeah.
watch this.
and watch Doctor Who and Sherlock Holmes on the BBC.
Actually, I have BritBox.
Wow. Someone clip that. Someone clip that.
You guys would love that. I knew you guys.
Mikey's in the chat. He'll clip it.
No, he won't.
Oh,
Mikey
God.
loves me.
Oh, Big Idris Elba, as John Luther. He's on the BBC as well.
All right, let's go before we get censored for saying BBC too much.
All right, mate.
The British Broadcasting Company.
Exactly. Corporation.
Yeah, exactly. Just make sure Safe Search is on. That's all I'm saying.
And by the way, as
always practice Safe Search.
as the British representative of the Bin podcast, I actually pay my TV license, so I can say what I like about the BBC.
Wow.
So effectively on this
Wayne,
show,
Wayne, what do you have to say about the BBC?
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Wayne, what do you have to say about BBC?
I am the BBC.
Oh, okay.
All right. All right, that's it. So, Wayne, take us home.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Bin podcast. For me, Wayne Maker, for Tim Bristol, for Brenna Duncan. This has been.
Stop associating me with you guys.
Wow. This has been a transatlantic politics shit show. So you're welcome.
I love you guys.
I'm gonna hit the button now.
Yeah, goodbye.
Cheerio.